All right, so today I want to talk about the concept of working smarter versus working harder. This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately and talking to my brother about because we are in the midst of a business and starting a business and, kind of getting it off the ground. So the debate, the internal debate with us has always been, does it make sense to work these long, hard, 12-hour days, or does it kind of make more sense to maybe do 8 hours of our most productive work and then just kind of take a step back and really analyze that. We see all these like hard ass gurus on YouTube, Dan Coe, Alex Hormozy, that, kind of say to, or Hormozy especially, is basically saying like do a 14-hour day. I want to talk about how that could be counterproductive at times. Now, just to preface this, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you have the ability to give 14 hours and your best 14 hours, by all means, go for it, because that's commendable and that's awesome, and I'm sure very productive if you do have the ability to do that. I think some days I could do that, some days I can't. It's hit or miss. It's just 14 hours a day is a lot of time to be focused on one thing for me. But I think I do better divvying up my time throughout the week. But the idea of this video is I want to talk about this concept that I came across recently, and it's this idea in nature that water takes the path of least resistance, right? And that can be looked at a lot of ways. Some people might think, oh, okay, like you're just going with the flow, you're kind of being lazy, doing whatever. But I like to think of it another way. I like to think of it as working smarter, not harder, conserving energy versus wasting it. Your willpower, your motivation are finite resources, right? We've all experienced, I don't care who you are, you have all experienced a lack of motivation. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's completely normal. But it's important to recognize that, and when you feel that, to adjust accordingly to avoid burnout. I think burnout is such a big killer of momentum. So if you can take the steps to avoid it, you won't kill your momentum. We all know what it's like to be at the back end of an extremely long, excruciatingly long day of hard work, whether it's, the job that you're working now that you don't enjoy or something you do enjoy. No matter what, it's exhausting. So it's important to, mediate and keep yourself in check and just make sure that you take breaks accordingly and do all the things that you need to not go against the flow of nature, to, allow nature to take its course and not resist and just try to have so much friction surrounding the work that you're doing. Elite athletes don't rely on motivation to train. They rely on their systems. And these systems have been proven to show the best results. If LeBron went in and trained for 10 hours a day, right, especially at his age now, he would be more injury prone and more fatigued. But instead they do things like, take days off on back-to-backs and don't play as many games in order to preserve themselves for when the games truly count, like playoffs and whatnot. So all of this to say, it's really easy to get into a state of, burnout when you're highly motivated and you're constantly working towards something. But it's important to recognize that and take a step back and just maybe even take a break and just say, okay, like I need to relax for my mental, for my physical health, and, come back in an even better state the next time I come at this and have the ability to give it my all, because at some point you're just not giving your all anymore because you're just working just to work. These patterns of working like that will just cause friction and resistance and possibly make your end result not the result that you want. So if you're somebody that's starting out a new business, training for a sport, doing anything like that, I hope this advice helped out, and thank you for watching.